You guys get to St. Michael Street, turn right. You see the distinct stag-shaped keystone above the door of the CPNP. Walk inside.
What is it, noon?
Yeah. About lunchtime.
All right, let's get this over with.
From the entryway, you can hear the clicking and clacking of a typewriter. What do you do?
Birdie's gonna head upstairs.
Clay, do you also head upstairs?
Tate follows.
Tate stands there, pensively.
Tate goes to his apartment.
You guys walk up the stairs.
We're back.
Do you do that?
Absolutely.
That didn't take you very long.
Yeah, it's longer in spirit than in time.
This happens when you stay awake for a day and a half.
You see Heidi sitting alone behind her desk. Typewriter, stack of papers, couple newspapers down below. Well, are you hungry? I just sent Ricardo out to get some lunch.
Depending on what it is, I could eat.
Good man will never say no.
Some sandwiches.
Frank around?
No, he's on vacation.
Just you in the office right now?
No, Commissioner Alborn's in. She looks over toward the door. It's cracked open just a little.
Tate lets out a sigh.
Well, we got a feisty one on us right now. So it's something we wouldn't just want to keep laying about.
Supposed to go straight to the commissioner?
Well,
She looks over, shrugs her shoulders, and nods her head with kind of a, yeah, probably, sorry, type of body language.
all right, well, send help via sandwich once they show up if you could. I don't know how long this will take.
All right.
Yeah, it ain't nothing like going to the captain's quarters.
We'll see.
So let me go get some napkins or paper towels. Well, describe to me, how do you approach the situation?
Birdie will rap on the... Is the door latched closed?
No, it's cracked open a little bit.
Birdie will rap as he opens the door. Commissioner? Commissioner Albon.
Come in.
Birdie's going to walk in and stand in front of the desk.
It's going to tempt me too much. Tate follows.
Heidi starts clacking away again once the door closes behind you. You see the same room, the same man. He has a monocle in, and he's reading over some reports. When he sees the two of you walk in, he scoops up the papers and sets them into a folder, closes it, puts that into a desk drawer that he then closes and locks. What can I do for you?
We just got back from assignment out in
Michigan.
out in White Round.
Yes. The one about the ritualistic suicides.
That's right. And we brought back as much proof as we could. And we were dealing with something a bit extraordinary.
Okay.
Tate, you want to hand him over now?
The details, please. As he says this, he reaches down, opens up another drawer, pulls out another file, opens it up, licks his thumb, peels open a piece of paper, Then he grabs a little notepad, pen, dabs it in the inkwell, starts writing.
You want us to retell the whole story, or
I'll tell you
just
what,
the important parts?
I'll get you a brief outline, and then we'll dig into further detail per, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we went out to White Round to investigate a series of ritualistic suicides, or so it seemed. When we got there, we met up with Sheriff Garvey, and we had five folks who had recently killed themselves in a similar manner, with the journal and writing, and then with pen ultimately ending their lives, self-inflicted. So we get to chatting by interviewing the family of the deceased and some other important folks around town.
He's writing as you're talking and making strong eye contact with the both of you while writing.
We split up to perform this task and got varying degrees of the same story. Regardless of who the individual was who wrote these journals, these suicide journals, if you will, they all wrote them in a different hand, using their left hand, and they were all written in the same cadence and manner.
Copying an individual that killed himself a few months back.
Yep. These were all loose replicants of a journal that one Philip Bolnaskry had written before he took his own life. Now, that was the original.
He raises his left hand.
Yes, sir.
So they were copycat suicides.
That
This is my understanding.
that was
Possession, sir.
Well,
Possession?
Possession. I witnessed it firsthand myself. Now, you probably don't want to touch the leather-bound book in this bag, but it contains, at least according to the notes, spells and rituals. And a dark, evil, hungry image, teeth filled with flesh. Given to him by a southern-sounding gentleman wearing nothing but white.
The book in that bag?
This is correct.
Let me see.
And Tate will hand the whole bag over.
He grabs the bag with his left hand, kind of holds it up, sets down the pen, opens the bag, kind of raises an eyebrow at the dried blood inside. Are all of the books are in here?
Yes. Stacked with the leather book on top, the journal underneath, and the bloody notebook on the bottom.
I see 3 books in here.
It's the one with leather. Dark greenish.
He reaches in, and then you see his arm stop. He pulls it out. He kind of pauses for a moment.
He pulls the book out or just his arm?
His arm, just his arm. He looks at the bag for a moment, just in silence. Then he reaches into his pocket. You hear the unlocking of a safe. He puts the bag inside, closes it, locks it back up. You witnessed a possession?
I did. I was with the boy, Cameron. We were asleep. There was something in the middle of the room. So, I was sitting in the church, trying to get a little bit of shut-eye, and I was woken up I couldn't move. Couldn't talk. These silver spheres, 2 of them, surrounding a dark silhouette, appeared in the middle of the room. It seemed like he had spider webs or something coming all off of him. And then I was able to see Cameron. And his wasn't there, but he was moving, and he pulled out his book and journal. Started writing with his left hand, like we've heard the rest of them do. And then went to write the ending paragraph and, stab himself with a pen when I was able to break free and stop him.
And you don't think this individual was responsible for the other deaths?
We know he wasn't. We know a boy by the name of Andrew was. He had quips and qualms and quarrels with everyone else that was dying.
Let me ask, you say no. How do you know?
Well, I feel like we skipped a bunch of important steps on this impromptu tale, but
He wouldn't have killed himself.
so our prime suspect ultimately became Andrew Wilscott. Okay, that was the son of the inn owner. Okay, he was friends with Philip Bonoscry, and after Philip's death, he had reportedly ran into a stranger, an older man in white that Tate here was mentioning, who offered him consolation and gave him a book. And we believe it is that dark green bound book that you just put in your safe that he gave him. And since then, Andrew had been using that book as a guide to perform some questionable acts, which we believe led to the ritualistic suicides of the other folks in town. And, the day we showed up, we started asking around folks, see, there's like a linear way here, Tate, that we should be telling this stuff so it makes more sense. But long and the short of it, we started investigating a bunch of folks. Many clues pointed towards Andrew, so we went in pursuit of him. Tate, I believe, had a run-in with him out near the bridge over there.
That's correct.
All right.
The bridge?
There's a bridge out there. It's where old Philip hung himself.
It had symbols on it, too. Made with this fine purple pinkish powder.
What do the symbols look like?
He'll pull out his notebook and show him.
He squints his eyes and looks up, nods his head. You hear some... You hear his pen move in a way that suggests he's copying the symbols.
You recognize these at all, Commissioner?
Roll a psychology check.
I was waiting for it. Let me open my box. 48 over 30, fail.
Do I recognize them? No.
Do you know anything about this spells and rituals they're talking about? I feel like, and Tate will look over at Birdie, I feel like this is something we're going to be combating. The more we know, the better for us.
I know what I read, what I've heard, which
Anything you can tell us?
I suspect what I know is not terribly different from what you know. But you're paid to find answers. So I suggest you do. So, possession, spells, witchcraft.
Yes, sir.
You've brought me a book.
A book you wouldn't touch, Commissioner. Now, I believe that's for a reason.
When you say that, he raises an eyebrow. He retrieves the key from his pocket, unlocks the vault. You hear the rummaging and ruffling of a hand in a bag. I want both of you to roll another psychology check. Both of you. Or psychoanalyze.
14 under 30 psychology.
3.
You hear the rummaging, and then there's a pause. You see this look on his face. It's very subtle, almost imperceivable. And if not for the fact that the both of you are seasoned investigators, very few people would notice something like this. But there is just the slightest stroke of discomfort on his face. And then he holds up the book and leans his elbow on the desk, holding it upright. It's a book.
What do you make of the words in there, Commissioner? Just a book. You can open it.
He looks down at you. He takes the book, puts it back in the safe, and locks it. I have better things to do with my time, and other people with time to read such a book. Now, Special Agent Clay, Marshal Johnson, I can only say that I'm so disappointed in so many words, but, well, that's as much as I can.
Commissioner, I think that we kind of completed the job. And our assignment letter to a T. Nobody else was killed by this ritual, and we brought back our proof, so I'll wait for the next one, I guess. And Tate will walk out.
Yeah, he's a bit confusing to me, too. Commissioner, we'll do our best to bring back more compelling evidence in the future. This one was a bit trying. Unfortunately, in our little more than 24-hour stay at White Round, Michigan, 3 folks lost their lives. And a bunch of others are going to be picking up the pieces for, I assume, many years to come. For now, I'd keep that book in a safe spot because, I admire your fortitude, but there's some nastiness in there, so I suggest you handle it with care.
I expect the both of you to have something official written up with Heidi. Good day.
Commissioner. Birdie's going to leave the room.
What's Clay doing?
And you hear a car driving away.
You leave Clay, you dick.
He's peeved. Heidi is there. Plug your ears real quick. Clay.
Man, leave the room. No, I'm just kidding.
Roll a listen check.
81 over... I fail. 81 over 62.
You close the door behind you, walk into the office. You hear the car. Heidi looks up at you. She has some papers in her hand. Well, doesn't seem like that went very well.
Well, Starting to get the feeling that Alborn isn't maybe the most personable gent on the block.
Well, go ahead and take tomorrow off. And we'll see the both of you this week. We'll get something official typed up.
All right, I'll let Tate know.
All right. Well,
hey, if he hands a book to you, just handle with care. All right?
okay.
Don't go touching stuff you don't need to.
Yeah. Well, I don't make a habit of it. Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Well, thanks for the offer of sandwiches, but looks like that went a bit quicker than expected, so we'll go home and get some shut-eye.
As you're leaving, you see Ricardo coming down the street, coming down the sidewalk. He's got a wicker basket. Oh, hey.
Hey,
You're back already. How'd it go?
it went.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. We're gonna take a day. We'll be back later this week. Do a full recounting.
Okay. Well, it's nice seeing you.
Yeah, enjoy the sandwiches.
Thanks. Hey, did you want one? I got extras.
I'm good.
All right. He gives you a little left-handed salute.
Birdie's gonna walk away.
Clay driving home, I imagine he's going over the speed limit.
Not driving home.
Oh, where's he going?
Cemetery.
Clay makes his way through the city streets, going a little bit faster than he ought to. He speeds past people, horses, buildings. Cuts down some back alleys, some roads. Gets a little bit out into the country. To a cemetery.
And he makes his way to a grave sitting on top of a little rolling hill. The grave of his wife. Tate feels betrayed, left out, unappreciated, and discouraged.
Clay lays in the grass next to a tombstone that reads, Annabelle Clay. Does she have a middle initial? He lays there and listens to the birds, the leaves swaying in the wind, the sun high above, blue, with the occasional white of a cloud. Does he say anything? After some time, does he fall asleep? Take a nap, rest his head?
He would nod off.
He closes his eyes and he feels something familiar. Like arms wrapped around him and his wrapped around someone else. There's a warmth, a contact that feels a certain type of way. And that warmth fills him. But there's nothing there. For a moment, he thinks he can hear her voice. And he realizes how long it's been since he's actually heard it. How it's getting harder to remember it. Where's Birdie going?
Birdie is going home to the Wayward Home for Solitary Men or whatever. I can't remember the name of his building, but yeah, he's exhausted. He's frazzled. You know, he wants to get home and take his boots off.
When he unlocks the door and opens it, he finds a folded piece of paper on the floor, clearly slid underneath the door.
Birdie's gonna put his hand on his revolver and just check. I mean, he lives in an efficiency, so there aren't many places for folks to hide. But he is going to do a quick once over to make certain there's no one in.
He looks through it. Nobody.
All right, Birdie's gonna pick up the piece of paper, shut and lock the door, sit on the foot of his bed, still fully clothed, and he's gonna open the letter.
It's 2 sentences. Be careful what you say to Alborn. Be careful what you bring him. Where does the evidence go? ? And that's where we'll leave this episode.
So your agents come in, do their investigations, they find something, and Alborn just always does this?
So far as I can tell, yeah, just about everyone he's put through has been like this. Regardless of whatever evidence came through. Shit.
Okay. Something's not right. Something doesn't feel right with this, Frank.
Yeah. You're telling me.
Well, let's say maybe we don't trust Alborn as much. Who can you trust?
Well, couple people over there, couple. There's some I certainly don't. But some I do, I guess. I don't know.
Let's keep an eye on this. I'll poke around what I can, keep it low profile. You do the same. Just be a little more low profile.
You ever look into that BOI agent I told you about?
No, I haven't had a chance.
All right, well, get on it when you can. You still talk to your sister?
My sister? No. She lives in the area, but no, not really.
You know, I was thinking about talking to her when we were putting this whole thing together.
She wouldn't be interested.
I know. That's why I didn't waste my time originally. Feel like it's a little different right now, though. Might be worth talking to her.
Might be.
In the meantime, don't wander off too far, all right?
Hey everybody, welcome back to an episode of ASMR with Cody Zenner, the Old Parasol Productions ASMR aficionado. Today we're going to be talking about
Patreon exclusives and other things. So obviously, I've already mentioned many times, I've mentioned many times the Patreon, okay? If you guys would be so kind as to check it out if you want. There's neat stuff that we have on there. And also, if you want to just like support us, no pressure. But we have, you know, the behind the scenes stuff and the exclusive stuff. We also have merch, shirts, cups, stickers, boom, 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 boom. Everything, all the cool stuff. I was just walking around today wearing one of my cool hats with my cool Linkin Park shirt and everything. And it's like, whoa, old Parasol Productions hat with the Linkin Park shirt. Oh, my word. Good heavens. What else? What else is there? Like, subscribe, share, comment, talk to your buddies about the show. Tell your friends and your family and let them know, like, hey, wow, this new show I listened to is like amazing. And yeah, also, okay, small apologies for the episode being a little bit shorter today. We tend to, you know, we obviously want to shoot for give or take an hour, but just the nature of the show, the nature of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Once in a while, you know, we have what we have from our games, because at the end of the day, this is still a game, you know. So if we sit down to play and that's what we had time for, or what we felt was like a good, you know, ending point or something like that, it's what we have. And so sometimes we have episodes that are tremendously long that, you know, maybe we need to cut down a little bit. We need to split in two. And sometimes we have an episode that is shorter than other ones. This one was kind of like a mixture where, you know, it was too much for one episode, but a little bit short to cut in half. But I felt like this was a pretty good, you know, episode overall. I've never DM'd a game before where a player was on the verge of tears. And, you know, I mean, I really like that scene with him with Clay, specifically with Clay in the cemetery. Like, you know, that was totally improv. That was completely off the cuff, something he said. I was not prepared for that, but that scene really came from just, I don't know, it was very heartfelt and just kind of flowed. And I think, you know, I think that's a part of the beauty of making shows like this is sometimes you're just put on the spot and maybe you have to be a little bit vulnerable, and stuff like that happens. So either way, yeah, that's what I got for you today. Oh, happy Labor Day. Okay. That's when I'm recording this right now, is on Labor Day, because, you know, I got Labor Day off. Woo! Yay. I love having Labor Day off. Anyway, yeah, I was actually going to try to take tomorrow off, but apparently there's a big like plant meeting or something I need to be a part of. So I gotta go be a part of the meeting. So I couldn't take tomorrow off. Otherwise I would have. So, but anyway, who cares? Maybe some of you guys do, but anyway, I hope y'all are having a beautiful, beautiful day back from your long weekend, if you had a long weekend. And if you didn't have a long weekend, I'm really sorry for you. And hopefully this episode makes your Tuesday worth living. Anyway, okay. I will talk to you guys next week. Bye-bye.